Yo, what's happening? Toddla T from the Steel City, but right now I'm in Kingston, Jamaica, Pesquis's Hotel. No sleep TV, because we don't kip. Earliest memories was compilations as a child of top 40, just whatever, like any child really. But as I got older, so about 9 or 10, my cousin had a Biggie Smalls tape. It just blew my head off. I just couldn't believe it. The funk of the rhythms, his voice, the swear words, the skits, the artwork, everything. I just totally fell in love with hip hop from that moment. And I remember taking that tape to my grandma's house over the summer and just rinsing it and just being totally immersed. And still to this day, that is my favorite album of all time. Around that same time, I started going out to parties, started going raving. I was old enough to kind of blag myself into raves or clubs or bars. And that's when I started to hear dancehall music in its sort of, in its form of in a party environment. I'm from a place called Sheffield in Northern England, which has got a fairly big West Indian community, and there was always a part of the party where it would drop down to dancehall. Whether you're in an R&B club, a hip hop club, a really underground club where they play dance or whatever, it would always be a moment, and I found that part really exciting and really sonically special. And I just kind of fell in love with the music from that. There's a few DJs back home, Winston Hazel and DJ Pipes, who really pushed that sound, even in clubs you didn't expect, but it just worked. And then thus far, I've been making music a couple of years by then, and it was just heavily into the production. So that was like 16, 17, 18, and by that time I was DJing in the clubs and the bars, alongside Winston and Pipes, who were heroes, and then it just snowballed all the way to where I am now. So I think without growing up in Sheffield and those DJs playing those records next to each other, I don't think I would have the same love for Jamaican music as I do now. But it was just so natural around me. And here we are, man. What defines me as a creative person? Well, I've always kind of wanted to make music. I think when I bought turntables, or my dad bought me, I think really what I wanted to do was actually make music. I didn't know how or what that was, but I was always trying to put acapellas on beats or blend rhythms or whatever. And I wake up in the morning and I have ideas all the time, and I always just want to get it out. And it might be like a song, it might be a visual idea, it might be the video for a song. And the first few hours of my day when I've got the most energy and I've had some coffee, and I'm like, it's the bit where I kind of feel most sort of creative, and the rest of the day is kind of getting that creativity out or making it happen. So defining it, I don't really know. I think I've always been quite creative in a sense. I liked art at school and stuff like that. It's always been about visual and audio. I was never really interested in maths or English or any of that. It just didn't really appeal to me, even though, you know, English and writing is art. It was more about the visual or the audio of it, really. So I guess it's just something that I kind of naturally got into. I can't really define it, but it's what I wake up with and try and pursue throughout the day. I feel like with music though, the only way you do succeed is if you're actually really bothered and you're really into it, because you can't fake the funk. You can't like go for something that your soul and heart isn't in. I've managed to get it because I just really genuinely wanted to do it, and I would be doing it regardless if it was successful or not. Just a lot of people I see who are successful would be doing it anyway. The people chasing it, who haven't got the spirit, they don't really succeed. So I think it's a passion that kind of leads to success. And luckily, I guess you could say I'm one of them people. I had a record on my first album called No Kip that I vocaled, and it was about not being able to sleep due to very reasons. And it's funny I'm doing this for Team No Sleep now, because there's a time in my life where I hardly kipped. I just had a baby actually, so I'm still in Team No Sleep. But I guess it means it's ethos, it's attitude, it's about being so bothered and hungry to do things that sleep becomes second. Whether it be a DJ and you're up all night partying, whether you want to be up early at the studio, or maybe it's nothing to do with music and you're just so passionate about something, sleep is like the second thing, whereas loads of people just want to finish work and go to bed. Whereas No Kip is like kind of a lifestyle in terms of getting stuff done, and then we just sleep a little bit and then crack on. What do I love most about Jamaica? It's got to be the music, man. It's got to be the spirit. The first time I came, it completely blew my head off in terms of how it's so part of local culture and how it's part of day of life, where the studios are just not just studios, they're like almost a community centre. They're almost a social hangout, the family, but also the musicianship and the vocalist, the talent was just unbelievable. And the way that they voiced things and the way that they would play instruments was just not messing about. It was like one take, it was just pure talent. And it's a very addictive energy here. I first came in 2010, it's now 2014, and this is my 7th trip. I've just been back and forth recording, DJing a couple times, doing stuff for radio, coming on holiday, and there's an energy to the island that's quite undescribable, that it's very addictive. And I chat to people back home about it as well, and they fully kind of understand, but I can't really put it into words. It's an incredible place. The people show me nothing but love. Great food, great parties, obviously amazing weather, beautiful place. So I just think the combination of that is just very, very kind of magnetic. But also, like I said, the music is just, and the talent and skill is just like nowhere else in the globe. What keeps me motivated is, music again. It's my first love, it's my main passion. It's just something that I'm addicted to and I can't help it. And no matter what, I'll be doing it and I'll be into it. And new music and exciting producers and vocalists and players or whatever make me want to carry on. And there's so many of them that I can't see it ever stopping, to be honest. Artists I'd want to work with, right, okay, so my first passion and love in music was rap music, hip hop music. So I still got a part of me that really wants to work with rappers in the States. Obviously the big ones that kind of bust in the last few years, your Kendricks, your Pusha T's, your Roses. I'd love to do projects with them. I know it's very hard to get into that market, but it's a music I feel like I really understand and I could probably get away with doing as such, whereas I have a sound crew called Toddla T sound. It's myself, DRS, Serisi and Shola Amma. We are a clique. We go on the road, we come to clubs, we come to parties, we do a sound system ethos of the show. We do dub plates, PAs, a big visual rig. So there's a lot of music coming with that as well. We're making records together to then take out on the road. I'm going to go to Big Yard this weekend and voice a whole heap of artists, Mr. Legacy or potentially World 21, get loads of horns in and stuff like that. I'll be on the road with my sound system all summer, and I also DJ in the clubs all the time. Catch me on BBC Radio 1 and 1X every Thursday night, UK time, 2 till 4 AM. And yeah, a load of Twittering and Facebooking and family life. What's my philosophy in life? Okay, my philosophy in life is simple. I guess you've got to try and enjoy it the most you can, regardless of your situation. You know, like, I'm blessed to be in my situation, and there's people a lot less blessed than me who seem to be happier than me or equally as happy. And I think it's about having a good time, and life is short, and I've realised that recently with unfortunate circumstances that happen around me, and you've just got to try as hard as you can to enjoy life. And I mean, I know that's easier said than done, because some people can't. They've had things happen to them in certain situations. But I think it's really important to try and get out there and do what you personally want to do in life, even if people disagree with it, you know, whether it be family, friends, culture. I think it's about self-happiness, and if that means being in the studio all day, or if it means you like to paint, or if it means you like to express yourself a certain way, I think it's really important, and I try to apply that as much as I can. Easier said than done though, I know, you know, everyone can just do that, but it's about self-happiness really, and that's it. One love. Hey yo, Toddla T from the Steel City. You are watching No Sleep TV.